Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, your favourite football fan channel made in Manchester. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has spoken for the first time since being sacked from Manchester United, and there's some very interesting quotes about Ronaldo, Jadon Sancho, the Glazers, his time at United, loads of stuff, which I really want to dive into. That's going to be the main piece today and maybe a few other little bits. But just want to say, first and foremost, just straight off the bat, right, I had a look at a couple of the other channels to see how they was reacting to it, just a genuine curiosity. And I had a look on the United stand, and that Planet Faz, it was like, do you know them times when you with your mates when you're younger, you're a little bit naive, you're a little bit silly, and you'll probably just, if you insult one of your mates or a lad and they laugh and you carry on doing it. I felt like as soon as I tuned in, it was just like one of them, like it was just like a slaughterhouse for Ole. And he was like, yeah, but what if you do this? And what if you, and I just thought, like, is this actual like fan channel content, or is this just basically slagging him off to get a few likes and a few comments and stuff? Bit of a weird one, to be honest. I'm certainly not going to be doing that today. I'm going to speak about it in depth. I'm actually going to give an analytical view to it, and we'll go through the points together. So as always, make sure you do leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and get your comments in, because I want to react with you guys as well and see what you lot are saying. So I'll dive into the comments shortly. There's a few couple comments already. Sorry, from David Pearson. Ollie went through an entire season unbeaten away from home. Ten Hag's away record against last season's other top 9 teams is played 10, won 0, drawn 1, lost 9. That's relegation form. I mean, it's hard to argue with, to be honest. Again, I'll dive into the specifics and stuff after it. Dino Lewis says, I don't think he was so bad, to be honest. He's in the same boat as LVG, Jose, and Ten Hag. All has had their number one targets, yet Board and Glazers let him down. He wanted Haaland, got Igalo. Ole away record speaks for itself. Awesome. Yeah. But again, I have to kind of caveat that with the fact that it was during, a lot of it was during COVID, wasn't it, I think? So when you was traveling away, there actually was no away fans. So the kind of, the playing field was neutral in that regard. But I do take your point. It was still impressive. But then Ten Hag equal a record at home, unbeaten up until now, until Brighton. That's basically a full year, effectively. So, there's swings and roundabouts. I had to turn the boring child fan off. Mate, honestly, it was like you tuning in and he was just whining. Like, he was just like, yeah, only this and only that. Like, mate, if you're speaking about that, then why this? And I was just like, mate, can we speak about this like adults? The manager's come out first time. His NDA's obviously ran out, so there's loads of stuff coming out. He's probably been dying to get it out. So yeah, let's just dive into it. I want to speak about the transfers first, because I thought it was that was where there was quite a few interesting quotes. So he says it was limited to 3 new main signings every single season. He signed off on it before he even came manager. On signing Ronaldo, he said it was a decision that was very difficult to turn down, and I felt like we had to take it, but it turned out wrong. It felt so right when we signed, and the fans felt like Newcastle game when Old Trafford was rocking after Ronaldo scored twice. He was still one of the best goal scorers in the world, and he was looking strong. Just on the Glazer bit, though, that quote, it says limited to 3 new main signings every season. He signed off on that before he even became manager. I'm a little bit disappointed he hasn't called the Glazers out a little bit more. Would have liked to have seen him gone in depth on that in terms of their ownership and how they run the club and stuff. Maybe he didn't want to do that for whatever reason, but I expected a little bit more about the Glazers specifically. Obviously, that transfer bit is a little bit worrying. If you look at some of the players Solskjaer wanted to sign, we've got Haaland, Bellingham, Kane, Rice, Casado, I believe was one, won it for like £5 million, and they didn't want it. Players Ragnick suggested: Gavardio, Sesko, Luis Diaz, Nkunku, Lemar, Vlahovic, Julian Alvarez, Enzo Fernandez, Casado again. Players that Eric Ten Hag wanted: Gakpo, Kim Min-jae, Harry Kane. Never got him. Mourinho targets that he wanted and didn't get. Van Gaal. There was a quote from him saying that United only give me 6th and 7th choice targets. So it's obviously not easy managing under the Glazers. I think we all kind of knew that, didn't we? It's not like a new revelation, but the fact it's coming out of the manager's mouth as well, saying, we wanted certain targets, and it was like, no. And you're basically getting 3 C options in that regard. But again, there's more layers to it, because the Sancho signing was like, again, I'll touch on Sancho. I don't want to get ahead of myself. On Cristiano Ronaldo, I mean, I shared the video on my Instagram last night. When he came back to Old Trafford and just lit it up, it was just like pure love and admiration from a United fan's perspective. He'd conquered the world. He grew up here as a kid, turned to a man, went off to Real Madrid, conquered the world, Ballon d'Ors, Champions Leagues, won a Euros, did well at Juventus. And then when he came back, the feeling I had, I don't know if everyone else was, but the feeling I had in my heart, honestly, I know it sounds a bit moist, but I swear to God, I was absolutely adored the man. So when he came back, I was just like, oh my God, yes. Trying my hardest to get tickets for that Newcastle game. Couldn't get him. Had to watch from home. I think I actually did a watch along for it. And then I was just watching in awe. Like he had never, ever left. Conquered the world, came back like he had never left. I understand what, as a coach as well, a lot of people now, in hindsight, and hindsight's a funny thing in it, they're all kind of saying like, why bring Ronaldo back? He's detriment to the team. And but listen, if you're a coach in that position and you get offered the chance to sign a legend like Cristiano Ronaldo to bring him back, are you going to turn that down? Honestly, even if there's a slight chance it might not work out, and the United fans find out that you turned it down. Like if that came out, an article from The Athletic came out 6 months down the line and said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer turned down the chance to bring back Ronaldo, he'd get absolutely slaughtered for it. And people might say, well, you need a backbone as a manager. It's tough shit. It is what it is. But I'm sorry, from my perspective, if Ronaldo gets offered, I'm taking it in a heartbeat, mate, in an absolute heartbeat. Obviously, it didn't work out well, but I mean, the first season, he still scored 17 league goals, didn't he? Some of the clutch moments that he had. You talk about Villarreal in the last minute, Atlanta, that volley that he scored, the Spurs game, the Arsenal game. He scored big, big clutch goals, probably ones that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. I'm sure people will remind me in the comments, but that I would have absolutely brought Cristiano Ronaldo back, and I completely understand why he did that. We all know the problem. UTFR's in the chat. Big up to you, sir. We have got a video dropping on Jadon Sancho today, by the way, members video. Keep an eye out for that. And then my reaction to the viral tweets in the football world will be out shortly as well. So maybe I'll drop that tomorrow on a Thursday or a Friday. So do keep an eye out for that. But UTFR says, we all know the problem, but until they go, nothing will change. Well, he speaks about the cycle, Solskjaer, and I thought them comments were interesting. I want to talk about that. Dino Lewis says, Faz was wrong on many points this morning. It all boils down to the board and the Glazers. No manager will succeed in the long run if they don't change. Very fair point, Dino. Shah Sam says, let me just get a swig of my coffee. I'll get into the comments in the TikTok as well. And obviously, it's match day, innit? So let me know how you're feeling about the head of the game. Are you nervous? Shah Sam says, another day, fresh United news. It will never stop. Sam says, bad manager, but naive and out of his depth at United for sure. And then people are agreeing with that comment. So, yeah, let's talk about his time at the club. Solskjaer said, well, there was something missing, a trophy. One penalty could have changed that in the shootout defeat to Villarreal in the Europa League final, and my time there would have been viewed differently. On Eric Ten Hag, he said, let's hope Eric Ten Hag is successful. If there is a cycle at United that he breaks it, someone is going to do it. Now, he speaks about the final there. Verdansk was obviously a blow for Ole, but there's fine margins in football. It's not like it was the only opportunity that he had. Previous to that, he kept getting to semi-finals and losing them, getting big moments in the game and losing them. And it's not just one thing, do you know what I mean? It's not just one final, you're unlucky, that's it. Southgate has a similar thing. Got to finals, semi-finals, lost. There's that extra edge as a manager to know where to get you there. Mourinho has it, Pep Guardiola has it, Ancelotti has it, many other managers have it. They don't have that. And I never felt like Solskjaer had the in-game management. If you look at Villarreal as a team, they didn't have amazing players. They didn't have world-class players. I mean, Moreno at the time, I think, was in decent form. But apart from that, Coquelin, Pau Torres, decent. Like, they're not an amazing team. United should be beating them every day of the week. We had Cavani, Bruno, Greenwood, Pogba, and others in that team. You should be winning that game regardless. There's no excuses for that. You could talk about penalties and De Gea missing a penalty or whatever it is, but you should have beat him in the 90 minutes. If you're not good enough, then you don't deserve to win it, in my personal opinion. So Verdansk, I reflect on that. Like, he's a manager. That's shown to me he was a little bit of a manager out of depth. I think that would have sugarcoated a lot of things if he had won that. And maybe he would have got more time. I don't know. But that final for me was just like... It was heartbreaking because, like Dino says there, you wanted him to win it. If he'd won that, people look at his time different. I get it. But maybe everything happens for a reason, On the Eric Ten Hag quote about breaking the cycle, I thought that was interesting. For anybody who's watched Game of Thrones in the chat, did it remind you of when Khaleesi was like, I'm going to break the chain? Is it break the chain? Break the wheel? I think it's break the chain, isn't it? Surely. Like, there's obviously a certain way United function with each manager at the club and under the Glazers. And that is, until that is broken, I absolutely agree with that sentiment that we will never win major titles, because the word cycle tells you what it is. Good manager comes in, does well, second season, don't get back properly, fans turn on him, gone. Next manager comes in, same thing again, gone. It's happened over the past 10 years. We know this as United fans, though. This is just a script. He spoke about individual players. He said Harry Maguire, it's a disgrace that he's getting so much abuse. I feel sorry for him, but he's a strong lad, and I hope it turns for him. I'm guessing it meant turns out for him. He's raised our defence big time when he arrived and lifted the mood around the place. It's true. It's very true. When he first came in, he was decent. I was speaking about the final there in Verdansk, the Europa League final. We was actually missing Maguire. Everyone was saying, oh, if we would have had Maguire, I hope he's fit. I think he had an ankle injury. Was it something like that? People were saying, oh, we miss him. I hope he's available, blah, blah, blah. And it's true. At the time, we did miss him. That form he had prior to that, he was decent. But you also have to look at the other side of things. Even under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, there was a season where he had 17 individual mistakes. I did a video about it. Everyone remembers on the channel, or the lads that are on the channel. 17 individual mistakes that led to goals, or a combination of things. He lacks mobility. He's fragile. He's not a leader. He's not quick. He's clumsy as fuck. He's like steps over his own feet. He's exposed when you try to be proactive. Like, look, you can sugarcoat Harry Maguire as much as you want, and the abuse definitely doesn't deserve the personal abuse that he's getting. I think him alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, when he was both at the club, were the most abused players online, which speaks volumes. Obviously, both different ends of the talent spectrum in that regard. But he doesn't deserve the abuse. I think that's obviously absolutely ridiculous. But if you had let him go in the summer, this wouldn't be the case. This wouldn't be ongoing at the minute. You should have just let him go to West Ham, where he would have been loved, where he probably would have got the captaincy, and where he would have fitted in. That's more of his level, West Ham. And he would have been playing Europa League football as well. So the club have failed in that, not letting him go and not taking a hit on it. It's simple as that. Because now he's just kind of lingering about. To be honest, he's injured now, isn't it? But he probably would have got game time, because Varane is only just coming back now. Sancho's been here or there. Like, you don't know what's going to happen with him. Still doesn't look fully fit. Lindelof is fine. He's the only kind of steady centre-back. And you got Johnny Evans as well. So, look, he may get opportunities this season, but I've never seen him get back into the squad, ever. He should have moved on in the summer, and it's as simple as that for me, 100%. On Jadon Sancho, we said, unfortunately, it's not worked out when he arrived. He had to go to hospital, and that was a setback as he couldn't start the first games. He's immensely talented, and we haven't seen the best of it. I hope we do. This might sound harsh. There's news coming out about investment process, by the way, and club debt and stuff, which I'm going to dive into shortly. So I've not missed that. I will dive into it. But yeah, on Jadon Sancho, it might sound harsh. I just think he's lazy, doesn't put a shift in. Feels like he has this entitlement that he should play. Only ever showed glimpses when he's arrived. Now we have £75 million transfer, which looks like it's probably going to go out on loan, and we cover half of his wages. He is seriously talented, but when youngsters like Garnacho are being more consistent and putting in better performances than there's serious questions to ask. We bought him as a right winger, because how long did we need a right-sided player for? The last one we had was like, I don't know, Valencia, wasn't it? So when we brought Jadon Sancho in, everyone was like, oh, the right side, he could play there and blah, blah, blah. And if you look at his stats at Dortmund, he played 15 times in his best season. In his last season, I think it was at Dortmund, he played 15 times on the left-hand side. I think it was 14 times on the right-hand side, 7 times in the centre attacking mid, and a couple of times as like a false nine or up top. So he played there regular enough. He obviously didn't mind playing there, but for some reason when he came to United, it was like, no, I want to play on the left. But unfortunately, Jadon, you've got Rashford and Garnacho ahead of you in that sense. So I don't think you're going to get game time there. This would have been your window of opportunity now had you not taken to social media and maybe got an opportunity on the right-hand side and proved to the manager that you're more than capable of playing there. But he didn't. He obviously chose the opposite route, and here we are now talking about him. He's not even playing for Manchester United. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, isn't there? Whenever I think of the board and the Glazers, my inner hound comes out. Bunch of cunts, I'll say it for you, Dean. I think Pogba got more abuse. Well, I mean, I'm just specifically on about the metrics that there was a stat that was released on social media in terms of comments that were made and engagement and stuff. And the players that got the most abuse was Maguire and Ronaldo. I don't know if anyone else remembers that when it came out, but yeah, I was just referring to that. But obviously, Pogba got a lot of abuse. David Pearson says, I just hope we can get Martinez and Casemiro back on form as they've dipped dramatically. I don't know what's going on with them two. Casemiro's dropped off the face of a cliff. But again, when Eric Ten Hag got asked about this in his press conference, they were saying, is it the midfield? What's going on with it? And he was like, it's not even the midfield, it's the back line and the attacking line. The attacking line, the pressing structure isn't great, so it's broken down, which leaves space behind. And then the back line isn't pushing up high enough, which leaves, Casemiro with a lot of space to cover and very isolated. However, one thing I will say is creativity on the ball is still there. Left foot, right foot can surprise you with a couple of passes. But one thing that is off with it is timing. He's still in like La Liga mode. When he gets the ball, he thinks he's got an extra second that he has, and he gets pinched off him. You see that so many times. They get a counter attack and they have a good opportunity. He needs to switch on a bit quicker. He needs to get up to pace. But anyone who's watched Casemiro for most of his career know that he is a slow starter. Remember when he first came in? Was it last season? Obviously, it was last season. And McTominay was keeping him out of the team, and it took a little bit of while to get to it. But when he did get to that point, he was amazing. He was one of the better players in the league. So, yeah, it is what it is with that. MDR beats, big up Marika, saying, Ole done no worse than every other manager we've had. Are Jose Moyes or Van Gaal bad managers? No. So why is Ole automatically bad? I don't think he's a bad manager. I mean, to get United second, you're obviously doing something well, aren't you? I just don't think he's a good level manager. He's just not world class, in my opinion. I think Van Gaal's better, Mourinho's better, Eric Ten Hag's better. I mean, it's between him and Moyes. I mean, even Moyes, you look at the job he's doing at West Ham at the minute, is probably a better manager. Thing is, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in the big moments, he didn't deliver. He didn't deliver. And that's the difference. Sometimes tactically, he got outdone. His only really approach was counter-attack. And when that didn't work, and when we was playing against a low block, we struggled. We really, really struggled. So, yeah. Look, there was good moments at all there. You talk about PSG. That was obviously an amazing moment. I remember beating City and Spurs, I think it was at times. We beat teams away from home. Man City was, I just touched on there, but was a massive one. We beat them a couple of times. It was big fixtures where we played really, really well. But then against the shit teams, I remember losing to Burnley. Jay Rodriguez scoring. Crap. Like losing to proper shit teams and going out of cups and stuff like that. So, again, I'd have to really go back and look at his time in charge to assess it because my memory doesn't do me any favours. But from what I can remember, he was out of his depth tactically in quite a lot of games. So, yeah. Right, this next one is interesting. Solskjaer speaks. Some players felt they should have played more and weren't constructive to the environment. That's a huge sin for me. When I didn't start games, I wanted to prove to the manager he made the wrong decisions. Now a lot of players aren't like that. Agents and family members get into their heads and tell them they are better than they are because they have a vested interest. And the best line coming out from this, it's a disease in modern football. He also spoke about players turning down the captaincy as well. He offered the captaincy to certain players and he said no. Some weren't training to force a move. And again, this has been a problem for a while at Manchester United. Entitlement, player power, a disease of modern football. This has been it's been almost like a culture at the club that's been ongoing for years. Players thinking they're better than they are, entitled. You should be playing me. I'm not going to train. You've seen it with Sancho now. Exact same situation. But again, does that not fall back to the scouting? You know, if you actually look at Jadon Sancho's career, and I explain all this in the members video that I did on him, look at his time at Watford, his time at City, his time at Dortmund. There is red flags consistently throughout his career, whether it's training or application or attitude, whatever it is. There is red flags consistently. Go back and look at the quotes. They're all there to see. So do your homework on these players, you know, when you bring them in. You're saying that I only want to play on the left. Well, how have we brought him in as a right winger then? Like, makes no fucking sense. Right, let's read out some TikTok comments. Thank you for all the follows. Make sure you subscribe to Real Red Stop, by the way, with 35 subs of 3,400. So if you haven't subscribed yet, or if you're on TikTok, just click the link in the bio for us, please. Got a bad feeling about tonight. I think we're going to win, or at least get a draw. Call me stupid optimism, whatever you want to call it, but I think we will win or get a draw. Man United team not strong enough. I mean, I probably agree with that. United with an easy 3-4 goals tonight, guys. Get your bets in. Will United get top 10 this season? Obviously. I mean, come on. Eric got nearly every player he wanted. Klopp didn't get anyone. Didn't get Kim Min-jae. Didn't get Harry Kane. Didn't get Frenkie de Jong. Did he get every player he wanted? Have you watched Frenkie de Jong for Barcelona recently, by the way? That boy is cooking. Cooking. That is the one signing I wanted. Out of all the signings that we didn't make, over the past few years, Frankie de Jong was the biggest one. Anyone who's watched this channel for a long, long time will know that Frankie de Jong was the biggest one. And such a shame we didn't get him, because I feel like him, alongside Casemiro and Bruno, would have been fantastic. He's such a good player, de Jong. He's probably going to extend his contract to Barca, probably become a club legend there. And the way Barca are looking this season, they're probably going to win a couple of things as well. They've got a really good squad at the minute. You know, you got a midfielder like Gundogan in there. You got Pedri, Frankie de Jong, just absolute. When you talk about technicians, top level. Let me read out some more comments. Tonight, what would you go with your lineup? From the players that are available, Onana, Delo, because there's no one else. I mean, centre backs, obviously the Sancho and Lindelof, and Reguilon. So that kind of speaks for itself, the back five. Midfield, I wouldn't play Christian Eriksen. I look at the midfielders that Bayern Munich have. I don't think it's going to be a game where we control it. So Christian Eriksen's going to be more on the back foot than he is on the front foot. So I'd probably play McTominay. That might maybe my famous last words, but excuse me. I would play McTominay, Casemiro, and Bruno. On the right, I'd probably start Pellistri, but I don't think he will. I think I'll put Bruno on the right, bring Eriksen into the midfield with McTominay, I'm guessing. And then you've got Rashford and Højlund up top. Maybe he'll go for a diamond again. Maybe he'll switch something up tactically. I hope he doesn't do the diamond again, because that worked for about 10, 15 minutes against Brighton. And once they figured us out, it was curtains, mate. And we couldn't adapt to it. So I hope we don't go with that diamond again, because it was shite. Sancho is in self-destruct mode, and it's because of his ego. He might have talent, but he has zero bottle or drive. He's just lazy. Just call a spade, innit? He's just lazy. He just doesn't track back. And to be fair, Mike, who's in the chat, has said this for time about Jadon Sancho. He's I don't know what the correct word. Just for me, it's just he doesn't give enough. He's lazy off the ball. You see Anthony, people give Anthony shit all the time, and you know, maybe it's the price tag. Obviously, he has annoying habits where he cuts in a lot. He slows down the attack. But at least he tracks back. At least he keeps his shape and discipline. Sancho don't do it. I don't look interested. And again, goes back to just honestly, I would employ all the members to watch that Jadon Sancho video that comes out today. Just watch it and go back through his history. Red flags everywhere. Ole legend player, but it was too early for him to be a manager of United. Well, he got, with all due respect to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if that was any other manager, he wouldn't have got the job. He got relegated with Cardiff. He came in when it was such a toxic time at United, unlocked the shackles, let him play, and then got a job based on that, really. So that whole process was fucked to begin with. Pep knew about Sancho. Pep gets rid of bad egg straight away. Yeah, they had a confrontation when they went on tour in America in 2017, I think it was. Are your TikTok followers all rats? I think they're all Liverpool fans or Arsenal fans. For some, I said it yesterday. I feel like when I go live on TikTok, it just lets all the Scousers and Liverpool and Arsenal fans and City fans know I'm going live, so they can put in some comments. Hannibal, Casemiro, Bruno in the midfield wouldn't surprise me. Hannibal looked quite good, to be fair. That 7-0 at Anfield is the lowest point in this club's recent history. Yeah, that was bad, wasn't it? That was really, really bad. And people will remind you of that every day, saying 7-up. But in reality, what did they get? They got fucking Europa League. So, not really asked about it. We're in Champions League. We're playing Bayern Munich tonight. Liverpool are playing Thursday night. And I couldn't even tell you who they're playing against. So, yeah. Can't play Mac and Eriksen. Hannibal and Pellistri must start. Then Amrabat, Mount, Mainu when fit. Well, Kobe Mainu's back training now. Sofian Amrabat's training. Mason Mount training. And you've got Varane who's back in training now as well. So hopefully they'll be available for the Burnley game. Could have done with him for this game, obviously. But it is what it is. You don't want to rush him back and then they go back. You know what Varane's like? He's your nan's China plates and he smashes very easy. Very fragile. We live rent-free in all their heads, says Sam. Vince says, will it let me know that you're going live? I chose to come on YouTube. What do you mean? I don't get what you're saying. Try word that a bit different, Vince, and I'll think it. Tonya B says, should Solskjaer be the director for Man United? No, he shouldn't. Not in my opinion. Anyway, because his footballing decisions weren't great, were they? Let's be honest. I don't want an ex-player with no qualifications being the sporting director. It just makes no sense to me whatsoever. What's this breaking news here? Eric Ten Hag's agency is, I don't know, that's breaking news. Going on about Amrabat signing to Ten Hag's agency. People just clickbait you, don't they? I've already read that out. David Pearson, really hope we do well tonight. Onana, though, it feels like we have a goalkeeper that will let in 3 or 4 every game. Harry Kane might be licking his lips. Like, let's address this Onana kind of thing. I don't get where it's coming from, but people don't seem to like Andre Onana for whatever reason. I think he's made some really good saves. I think we say he improves us significantly in the first phase build up. The save against Saka in the Arsenal game was fantastic. The save against, was it Fabio Silva in the Wolves game? He made a couple against Forest. He made a couple in the Brighton game. Ansu Fati should have been 4-1, and he saved that point blank. There was a couple of saves where you're like, maybe you should have had that. Which one was the one where he stutters the shot and then shoot? He kind of falls down, doesn't he? Stutters the shot and then thinger. There's a couple that maybe he should have saved, but I think he's been all right. I think there was some stats that came out saying that he, so far at United, he's faced 30 shots. Is it 30 shots? And De Gea's conceded 7 and no, right. I'm getting my head screwed up there. De Gea faced 9 shots at this point in the season last season and conceded 7. Onana's conceded 30 shots and conceded 10 goals, I think it was. So I don't know. Take of that what you will. I might be absolutely messing them stats up, but I'm pretty sure that was what it was. TikTok did let me know that you was on a live, but I chose YouTube instead to watch you a best angle and better than camera picture. All right, cool. Yeah, no problem, Vince. Scoreboard's in the chat. Big up scoreboard. I think we should go smash and grab. Only have 7 defensive players: Bruno, Rashford, and Højlund as attacking options. It's going to be a smash and grab. It's going to be counter attack, transitional play. You know the script. You go into the Allianz Arena. We're not going to dominate possession. Maybe Ten Hag will have something up his sleeve. But I think we're going to go there. We're going to use Højlund and Rashford as much as we can. We're going to get Bruno Fernandes. You're going to see it all the game, basically. At PSG, that's what I think, because we haven't got the players to dominate possession. But equally, Bayern Munich are missing. I think Joshua Kimmich is out. They're missing some big players. Bayern Munich, like we are. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's a full gone conclusion that they smash us tonight. I think we get a good result. I'll go with a draw. But let me know your score. What's your score predictions? Which is the worst pundit, Sky Sports or TNT? That's a good question. Who's got the worst pundits? I'm just going to go with Sky. One, Jamie Redknapp is just like, I feel like he's only in that job because of his dad. And he was an average player. Graham Souness is just, I don't think he's with Sky anymore, but it just pisses me off anytime he speaks. So, and then Mika Richards, I know he's a really nice lad, bubbly, but it's too much. Do you know what I mean? Like, he says something, he goes, and you're like, chill out, mate. Like, come on. So, yeah, obviously they've got Keano and Gary Neville and guys like this. And Jamie Carragher, who actually thinks decent. But, yeah, they've got too many annoying ones. Whereas TNT, I think Laura Woods is good. I think Rio's decent. Jolene Lescott's all right. Joe Cole's really good. Peter Crouch is funny. So, I don't mind the pundits on there, to be honest. Sky's got the worst pundits for me. Let's have a look. Dino Lewis says 1-1. I think so, yeah. I think 1-1 or 2-2. Is Ten Hag world class, though? I think if you win a Carabao Cup and finish 3rd with Weghorst up top as your striker, I think you deserve a trophy alone for that, to be honest with you. If you get to the semi-final of the Champions League with Ajax, you're a pretty good manager. Even though Onana said in his interview, that only happens like every 20, 25 years. Like, Ten Hag is a very, very good manager. Proving that last season. Went to the new camp, was the better team at the new camp. Beat City. Beat Liverpool. I know all the away games are questionable. That's one thing that's like a red flag on his name at the moment. But I've got no doubt in my mind he's a decent manager. In game as well, they can change it. I remember Steve McLaren doing an interview about him, saying every time he was struggling in a game, he would look to Eric Ten Hag as his assistant manager and he would say, "What now, Eric?" And he would switch something up. He'd go man marking or he'd bring on a certain player. He'd switch the game up and he'd win. And I saw that loads of times last season. You've got to think that there's context to Ten Hag, right? Everyone's going on about the results at the minute, and that's fine. When things are going bad, people will absolutely pile on you. But look at the shit he's had to deal with since he's come in. No other manager on the planet has had to deal with that. The Greenwood situation, Antony, Jadon Sancho, back and forth, send him off individual training program. Now he's out of the squad, another £70 million player. Ronaldo doing an interview with Piers Morgan. The whole situation with David De Gea. The Glazers above announcing that they want to sell the club and then dragging it on for 10 months. So there's context to it. It's not just the fact that he's having to move on a dancing carpet with fucking whilst it's pissing it down. So look, I've got sympathy for him personally, but if people don't think he's a world-class manager, then that's fine. I think we'll win 2-1. They'll have 25 shots. We'll have 4. Onana man of the match. That's more like it scoreboard. I like that. UTFR says if the Qataris get United, Ten Hag will move into a different gear when he gets the right players. United will be back. Well, think Bayern Munich have 2 of the players that were our main targets. Kim Min-jae, quality centre-back, and Harry Kane, who's guaranteed goal. Whatever he does, wherever he goes, he's guaranteed goal to score. He's already scored 4 goals for Bayern Munich. He'll probably score tonight. You know, that's the difference sometimes in these big games. He didn't get his priority targets. So, that's it. People say he spent this amount of money or whatever. So has everyone else. Chelsea has spent, under Poch, Chelsea have already spent £465 million. Man City won the treble. They brought in Kovacic, Gvardiol and Doku. You know? Arsenal spent over £100 million on Declan Rice. Spent 65 on Havertz. Got Yuri and Timber for 40 as well. Like, we're not the only team spending money. So it's not like we've spent money and everyone else is like, no, we'll stick with the squad that we've got so we gain an advantage on him. Everyone's spending money. You know? So, look, yeah, it is what it is. It is match day. I'm proper excited. Cannot wait to watch Manchester United versus Bayern Munich. Obviously, I will be live on YouTube. I will be live on TikTok with a live watch along. Hopefully with some of you guys joining me. Go through the team lineups together. And yeah, Champions League's back. I enjoyed it last night. Even though the games weren't amazing. I watched Dortmund and PSG, which is a pretty shit game. Dortmund just had no plan whatsoever. I hope we don't play like Dortmund tonight. Dortmund sat back with a back 5, tried hitting on the counter with Adieme and Marlon, and that was just such a boring game. So I hope we don't play like that. The Barcelona obviously won 5-0, didn't they? City went down 1-0. I was like, oh, what's going on here? But then brought it back. So there was a couple of interesting games last night, but I'm hoping Bayern Munich and United live up to it. Even if it's a good game, right? This might sound a bit defeatist, but even if it's a good game and we lose 2-1, but we put in a very competitive performance and it's a tight game, you come away with it, you're like, right, at least the performance levels is there. Do you know what I mean? Without 13 players. We've got 13 players missing at the moment. Get on that. How mad is that? Tom Heaton, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Varane, Shaw, Malacio, Amrabat, Mainu, Mount, Antony, Sancho, and Ahmad. All missing. Crazy. But we've had the odds stacked against us again, haven't we? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, PSG. Everyone writ us off there. We went and won. So, look, let's go do what we did in the 99 final. It might be one of them performances where we get a bit of luck, you know, hits the bar, 90th minute goal. Who knows? Magic at this club has happened before, but I will leave it at that, guys. There's still quite a few of you in the chat, so please do leave a like on the video for us and join me for the watch along later on at 7 o'clock. We'll go through the team lineup together. I might go a little bit earlier just because I'm excited for the game. So come and join me, whatever platform you're on. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you watch the members. If you are a member, the Sancho videos drop in today. The reaction to tweets is dropping to tomorrow. So yeah, if you want to become a member, click the link in the description. When we get to 22 members, we're going to do a live and reveal who gets to feature on a live show with the lads. You get exclusive content every single week, a badge next to your name, and like I said, a chance to feature on the show. So please do consider that. Someone gifted a membership yesterday, which I forgot you could even do. So we've got Henry Jones, who's now a new member. So yeah, join the ever-growing football community, and I'll see you guys in the next one, yeah? Take care. Look forward to the game. See you shortly. Peace.